Now we move on to Republicans' misinformation. Now, Republicans have been using this misinformation technique for decades, all the way back to Nixon and Reagan. So, the first part is Republicans use any means to achieve power. They promote unpopular beliefs, unpopular policies, and just do not care what happens after the fact. They'll make any deal whatsoever to get more power. They create and promote disinformation and lies and frighten their base, using the Jedi mind trick of shaking something very scary in front of them, nice and shiny for them to freak out about. Then they create a villain, something that they can attack and say, this is the only thing keeping you down. You must attack it. They smear, they lie, they cheat. And once they are proven wrong, they don't back down, but insist that they're right over and over again. Bring fear and racism. Now, let's see this about the big lie, or, let's put it accurately, Donald Trump trying to overthrow America because he got butthurt. He made up the lie, saying that Democrats somehow stole the election while he was president, ran the Justice Department, and controlled parts of Congress. So Donald Trump, so limp and tiny and insignificant person, President of the United States, had the Justice Department, parts of Congress, still not man enough to find anything on the Democrats? This is who Republicans follow. Aren't they truly men? I mean, who else would follow someone so weak but manly men? Second, the right-wing media ecosystem, which is the majority of the media, amplify him trying to overthrow America. Tell all the morons that follow Trump that, hey, Democrats somehow stole this. Don't need to provide you with evidence. You just believe me and we will get there. Biden wasn't fairly elected. From his basement, he was able to steal the election from our God of a man. Vilify those that stood up for the election, those that stood up for America, the cops who defended Congress when Trump tried to murder people. And they go after any Republican whatsoever that didn't support him. It doesn't matter if the Republican, like the one in Georgia that recorded the call and didn't tell anyone until Trump attacked him, he wasn't truly a patriot because he wouldn't help Trump break the law and overthrow America. So they got their villain. That's the third step. And after they've been proven and tried to overthrow America and failed to provide any evidence to 60 plus judges, some that Trump elected, and the Supreme Court, the 6 Republicans on the Supreme Court that, last time they were perfectly willing to overthrow a Democrat for a Republican so they can get more Republicans on the Supreme Court to do whatever they want and rule as dictators over America. They weren't even willing to overthrow America for Trump. So they were temporarily not true patriotic Republicans. But now that they're willing to overturn Roe, Trump is all for taking the win. So, first, they lie, do anything to attain power. Second, they disinform and lie to the base, telling them they're being oppressed. Then they find a villain, and no matter how many times they're proven wrong, they go on to continue that same lie. Let's go all the way back to Nixon. The media is against us. This has been a great lie for the Republicans because no matter how much evidence you bring forward, they're just like, hey, the media's against us. Obviously, they're going to lie. This has helped the Republican Party recruit the worst of the worst. Reason why Trump got into the party so easily. Trump was abhorrent, awful, and clearly wanted to overthrow America. So when Democrats said that, and the media repeated it sometimes, Republicans rallied behind him because the media hates him. So this must be the true Republican. Nixon also brought in the fact that Republicans are law and order. There's a reason why Republican administrations have 200 plus indictments versus Democrats 4. Even though Democrats are the ones bashed in the media for anything, the reason why the Justice Department doesn't bring charges is because even though the Democrats are neoliberals, they just don't break the law as much as Republicans. You can blame Nixon's first part for that when they said the media is against us because no matter how many times a Republican breaks the law, it's likely that he will stay a Republican in good standing and stay in Congress to break the law again. Reagan, criminal, and the reason for much of our current situation, he's told the Republicans to drown the government in the bathtub because they can't do anything right. So Republicans refuse to use the government to solve problems. There's a reason why Republican states have 40% higher violent crime, 30% higher property crime, need $100 billion plus in Democrat taxes. Democrat states send $100 billion plus to red states every year. Why red states have higher teen pregnancies, higher mortalities, worse roads, worse education, worse healthcare. Because Republicans believe the lie and they are unwilling to step us away from it. The government can't do anything right. And Bush Sr. said no new taxes. So Republicans have repeatedly cut taxes in their state until they ran their state governments into the ground. They get away with this because the media is lazy. Republicans tell the same lie over and over again, and the media refuses to call them on it. Because after a while you hear the same lie over and over again,